several times, many occasions, I've seen some strange things in the sky. I know what one of them was. It was an explosion from a small meteorite or asteroid or something of that nature. It illuminated the whole sky. It was a bright flash. It kind of blinded me. It was at nighttime. I've also seen one of those during the daytime. It just looks like a shooting star, and it gets brighter and brighter and then explodes into millions of pieces. Oddly, neither time that I saw those did I hear any noise associated with them. Another time, I saw a giant green orb fly overhead. When I was really young, it was like a bottom of an oval. It was just glowing green, and it was going kind of slow. Then it just took off. A couple other times I've seen things that were obviously military, like a perfect triangle with blue lights all around it and fire coming out the back end of it, and you could hear that and it was just flying, a huge triangular shaped object, but it had two fighter jets behind it following it. Another time I've seen I don't know what was going on. It was really, really far into outer space. I'd see a blue line go this way, then I'd see one go this way, and one go that way, and then it would travel over. I don't know what the hell that was. I observed that one evening. And then many other times, this has been a very common occurrence, that I'll see like a silver, not really cigar, but like oblong shaped thing just floating across the sky. It's not a blimp. This is I can't really explain it. It was really shiny silver, up too high to be a blimp. It was not a blimp or a balloon of any type, but it traveled as such. It could have been some kind of balloon, I suppose. Very, very large. If it was bigger than a blimp. It was probably as long as a football field. That's about all the unusual things I've seen in the sky. And none of that is any sort of joke or made up story. I've seen some other peculiar things that would have me believe it was more of like on a spirit such level. Some of that may have been optical illusions, but I've seen some crazy type things out in the woods. Basically, like Indians are haunting them. Heard noises, drum beats, and weird things like that. I won't get into all of that because it kind of makes what I said before sound like it's not true, because it's even stuff that happened to me, but it's hard for me to believe. I'll delve into, or whatever they call it, the drum beat thing I heard. I remember it very, very distinctly. It's like, and then you hear, whoa, whoa, yeah, whoa, hey, oh, hey, oh, and then there would be like women and children would sing the second chorus, like, and it would just repeat over and over. That was a really strange thing. But I've seen something else I saw really peculiar in the woods. I once saw an Indian riding a horse through the treetops, and he threw something, and then I heard a tree fall down. I would have thought it was a hallucination or something, other than other people that were around at the time also heard the tree fall, and I saw this Indian riding a horse through the treetops beforehand. It's very, very odd. I don't really even believe that. I wasn't on any kind of drugs or anything. I was just drinking coffee, smoking a cigarette, looking out the window. and that was very odd. And this is a very strange thing that also happened. There were some tornadoes a couple years back. Well, actually, right at about 2 years ago, and the water behind the house I was at the time got out of the banks, and like sometime after all of the storms had went through, but it was still kind of cloudy, just enough rays of sunlight came down through the clouds to reflect these two trees somehow onto that water that had risen. It just made a perfect cross. That was the only reflection out there. It was just illuminated in this one swath. It was really, really ominous, sort of. But I tried to get a picture of that. It didn't turn out very well. I think it may still be on someone's phone that I borrowed at the time. Those are just odd things. I didn't have any content to make a video, so that's stuff that happened to me. None of that's all 100% true. None of it's made up. A lot of that stuff with the Indian riding a horse through the trees, it was hard to believe my own eyes on that. I still don't believe it, even though it happened to me.